Coming up on Designing Texas, Gary Riggs has a whole lot in store. Build It with Bruce is talking Toulouse. And Jennifer Terrell is with Telefirma, as well as Ron Davis. It's a good show, and Designing Texas is coming up next. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jocelyn White, and welcome to this edition of Designing Texas, where our motto is upscale living with a down-home heart. Now, I hope you had a happy Valentine's Day, and if no one came along to claim you as their Valentine, you can be mine. Next month, we'll be on the third Sunday as well, but that's because NASCAR is coming to the Texas Motor Speedway in our normal time slot. So we'll be opening up the Designing America Vault on that third Sunday to revisit a sweet deal at the track. When you come in here and maybe it's after you've had a great race and you've had this room filled with family and friends and you kind of look around at what you created, what goes through your mind?
To be sure that I've captured enough humility that I'm not going to be spoiled by this, because I am absolutely incensed when people don't have humility, and I'm going to always have some.
Now, if you're like me, you probably find that this time of the year, your house looks a little bit drab, maybe even a little depressing, and it's not just because of the weather, it's because all of those happy holiday decorations have come down. Well, never fear, our Designing Texan is here, and Gary Riggs has some tricks for making the place look a little fresh and new and alive, and he's got some real treats in store. First, Gary, you're always really big on using things we have, sort of repurposing, if you will. Is there something we can do to sort of spiff up the home with things we already have?
Oh, absolutely. I've found over the years that it's not necessarily what you have, but how it's being presented. So you can take things that you already have, represent them in a different way than has been used before, and then all of a sudden it becomes new. Well, I mean, it can happen just in rearranging a little bit, or you know, switching the wall that the artisan, you know, or moving things or shifting. Maybe you just decide you want to have a little bit brighter lamp, or you're tired of this or that, or throw a couple of different toss pillows and add another chair that you hadn't had. And it's a good time of year for that because, you know, with all the inventory and everything coming off the end of the year and that, you always wait and have everything coming in January and February and March. And so it makes it really fun because it's, you know, you kind of like have Christmas for 3 months because you go out, you know, you're opening and it all feels so...
Opening all those new boxes, and then those of us who come into the store, it's kind of like Christmas too.
Well, and a lot of things come in, you know, that are in color. We've got just a lot of new lamps.
So what are some of the new things that have come in that are your favorites?
Oh gosh, there's so many. As far as furniture goes, we've got a great fuchsia sofa in, black and white striped chair that's really a lot of fun. But then we've got just some neutral things too, a really nice white sofa.
Well, what about this?
Isn't this great? This coral pink velvet is really nice, and in the tufting it makes it a lot of fun. And here we paired it with that kind of robinate blue, and then with this great abstract piece of art here. And so it's very spring-like feeling because it's kind of the Easter colors.
So if you wanted something new, this is a great time of the year to get it and totally freshen up the house.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a great time. We've got a lot of great new things. And then with the blue and white pattern chair that's sitting here with it, you know, it's like, oh wow, you know, and so it's very spring, you know, it's kind of fun to get into that.
It's spring.
And coming in and, you know, that kind of thing. So that makes it, I think, a lot of fun. Well, even like new lamps, you know, you might say, well, let's switch and get a different lamp or do, you know, we got some great ones in, a couple of Ralph Lauren lamps that are in a leopard cowhide.
Oh, wow.
You know, which is a lot of fun, but then there's some bright colored ones in this bright blues and the robinate colors and turquoise and and some of those, but then there's just some beautiful gold and neutrals, which also can make a nice statement, you know, depending on what the room is.
I know that green's supposed to be the Pantone color of the year, and I see lots of green, but what I really love are, for lack of a better phrase, the Easter egg colors.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they do make you smile.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. To the green that you're talking, we got in some new that have got an Asian print on them, but they're very, you know, that
the
Kelly
chairs.
green. Yeah, some chairs. And they're a lot of fun, and the fabric is beautiful. So they're starting to do, again, things with fabric that are involving maybe a little bit more color and pattern, and starting to see some of those florals again, and the chintz fabrics, even that you didn't think you'd ever hear that word again. But,
chintz.
but you're starting to hear, you know, that going on. And so it's kind of a fun time. It's kind of like anything goes, and no matter what your taste is, there's always something that's fun.
Particularly here in Gary Riggs.
Yeah,
Home Interiors.
We're very blessed and got some great new stuff.
Thanks, Gary. Now let's go shopping.
Yeah.
Gary always has great ideas, and we've got more great ideas coming your way today. Still to come, we check in with Bruce Russo and see what Bruce is building. And of course, Jennifer is bringing us the scoop on Build to Suit.
The term facial rejuvenation, I think, refers to a whole spectrum of procedures and services and options that we can present to our patients when they want to refresh their face, refresh their appearance.
Well, and that's what I like about us, is that we're a team. And so if there's something that I feel like I can't fix, that, you know, he's going to be better, you know, at doing the surgery, and I'll be like, you know, I'll come do that with him. You know, you can have a facelift and you're going to look better. I'm not going to do filler on someone who has, you know, jowling down here and they're like, can you put filler here? No.
Restless leg syndrome runs in families. Help end restless leg syndrome for future generations by becoming a member of the RLS Foundation. More strength, more knowledge, more hope for a cure. Visit rls.org.
Hey everybody, I'm Jocelyn White with John Zazelka, and we're at home in the hills of Kingswood. And right now our location is fantastic on this very unusual February day. It's sunny and gorgeous and warm.
It's an absolutely beautiful day, and it's such a beautiful setting. We couldn't ask for a better place to be on this gorgeous day.
I know, gold medal pools. And our thanks to Josh Sandler for letting us come hang out. They have some amazing pools, and this is the time of year to start thinking about that.
They really do, Jocelyn. Just sitting here and looking at the pools and listening to the running water makes you want to be at the hills of Kingswood.
It does, particularly in the spring, which is not too far away.
Absolutely. And I want to just remind everybody, this gorgeous time of year is a perfect time to come out and choose a lot. And also, we have a variety of architects and builders, but I want to talk about C. Michael Jones Design Build. He gives you a 1-2 punch. He gives you the architecture that's second to none, and he gives you builder quality that's also second to none.
I'm Mike Jones with C. Michael Jones Design Build. Well, the advantage of the builder and the designer being one and the same is once the design is complete, the building of the house is all in the interpretation. Once I meet somebody and they have an interest in the possibility of building a house, the first step is site selection. We'll walk several lots till we pick out the one that's within their budget, fits their needs, or they just fall in love with it. Second step is to, once we have that, is the programming meeting, where we'll sit down and talk about their wish list, what they're looking for in a home, their budget, The third step is the design concepts. I'll sit down with the people after the program meeting and we'll design the floor plans and the elevations, and then we'll have a presentation on the design before we start budgeting. The Hills of Kingswood has some distinct advantages. Number one is lot selection. They have a wide variety of lots, from greenbelt lots, flat lots, slope lots, all price points and all sizes, so that we can meet just about anybody's needs. Another advantage of building in the Hills of Kingswood, especially for the clients, is the Hills has a very strict architectural control committee. They'll review our plans, colors, roof selections, brick, stone, stucco, paint colors. Everything must be approved by the architectural control, which keeps the standards very high in the neighborhood. Building in the city of Frisco has some challenges also, which is actually very good for the consumer. Everything has to be engineered, the structural, the foundation. All the inspections go through the city, and they require engineer inspections also. So there's several sets of eyes in the city of Frisco that are reviewing our construction. Right now in the Hills of Kingswood, we have several projects underway. I have a spec house under construction that's a little over 5,000 square feet, and we have 2 build jobs underway that's going to be in that $2 to $3 million range. I love working with the guys out at the Hills of Kingswood. They put together a great product, great lots, and they stand behind what they say they're going to do.
And beautiful pools, have we got the folks for you? Of course, it's Gold Medal with Josh Sandler, and John visited with him earlier today.
Well, Josh, I know I'm aware that you do many other things other than the swimming pools that you create that are wonderful at Hills of Kingswood. Your commercial projects, and I know you've worked on the Omni and you've worked on many other projects. And also, I didn't realize until we had a chance to visit earlier that you do so much more. Josh, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, thank you for that. We're very proud. We did build the swimming pool on the roof of the Omni here at the Star for the Dallas Cowboys. That was a very exciting project, very challenging project, both structurally, hydraulically, and just coordination-wise on such a big project. It was a great success. We built the lazy river in the outfield of the Rough Riders, which was just, once again, quite the challenge, but now that it's all said and done, we can look back and be very proud of the work that we've done there. In addition to that, we're doing a lot of other things other than swimming pools. We're going in neighborhoods, we're doing the hardscapes, we're doing the entry signs, we're doing the screen walls, we're doing the paving. So we've just found that if we do a great job for developers like yourself, the scope of our work really increases because they just want the same pride and they want the same care and attention to detail in those projects as well. In addition to building all the really neat residential swimming pools for the amazing homeowners that we have, we also handle weekly cleaning for your swimming pools. We handle the service, we fix what you need fixed. We just finished a natatorium for the city of Plano. We are building an amazing amenity center and swimming pool setup for the Jones family in Star Trail and Prosper. We're building turnkey amenity sites. We're building the swimming pools, the playgrounds, the parking lots, the amenity centers, the meeting rooms, the buildings, turnkey. So we're really proud to have found a very successful niche for ourselves in that. So with that being said, some of the most amazing projects we've ever built in the history of our company have been in the Hills of Kingswood. We're excited. The snow's gone, the ice is gone, the weather's starting to get warm, and there's no better time than the present to start planning your swimming pool.
Josh Sandler, thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
And incidentally, it was Gold Medal and Josh who built the 2 Christian custom home pools that are truly spectacular at the Hills of Kingswood, right, John?
Oh, absolutely correct, Jocelyn.
And we're always at home here in the Hills of Kingswood, and as you know, we want you to be too. We'll see you next time. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Sharon Webb is our go-to gal in the Hills of Kingswood, so stop by, get a personal tour of our community, and let Sharon introduce you to the spectacular home sites we have available. You too can be at home in the Hills of Kingswood. Give her a call to set up your appointment. Welcome back as Designing Texas continues. You know, Bruce Russo is always juggling projects from the West Coast to here on the third coast, as they sometimes call it. I'm always curious to see what he has under construction. So here's Build It with Bruce.
With over 35 years of design and build experience and over 300 completed projects, Bruce Russo of Russo Designs is the authority on restaurant construction. His creations focus on both theme and functionality, while adhering to a strict belief that even the smallest detail matters. Here in stylish Legacy West Plano, Bruce is building a chic yet relaxing space for Toulouse, a French-inspired cafe and bar, which excels at creating imaginative and seasonal menus. Today, we'll catch up with Bruce and get a sneak peek on this fashionable eatery.
Welcome to Build It with Bruce. We are here at Toulouse, Legacy West, one of the hottest properties in the Metroplex right now. Everything is happening at Legacy West. We have a lot of exciting things to show you on this episode of Build It with Bruce. As you can see, as soon as you walk in the door, it's a very inviting space. Everything flows. We have the huge medallion of marble here that invites you and brings you as a landing strip into the bakery. So you get all the energy of the bakery happening. On this side, this whole wall here will be one large banquette with seating all along. So we have all that energy. Main dining room seating. This is all booth seating, and then we have the beautiful bar. This entire restaurant is a big wow. It's gonna take you numerous visits to this restaurant to be able to even appreciate the artisan work, the time, the effort, the thinking, the rethinking, the doing, the overdoing, the finished product, tear out and redo and do it again. The zinc countertops. This is probably the rarest bar top that you'll ever see. This is all cast and poured zinc, and then it's polished to the luster that you see here. This is 90 days worth of work just to get these countertops manufactured in here. Purely true artisan work here. I don't know any other restaurant in the Metroplex that has authentic zinc countertops, but Toulouse Legacy West does. Now that I've showed you some of the big wows, now I'm gonna take you in. We're gonna talk about finer details. Come on. The floor I'm standing on, it's 3/8 of an inch pieces of marble, hand set on a mat in 9-inch squares, piece by piece, all hand cut, all hand detailed. The Toulouse logo, also done in the same tile at the front door, absolutely beautiful. We walk into the main dining room. This is all Calcutta, Tucci, marble floor with a black onyx border. The back wall of the bakery, all that white tile was laid first, and then had two guys take out each white individual tile. Where you see a black tile, that pattern was hand laid. 10 days, two guys. Okay, I've showed you some of the wow details. I showed you some of the finer details, but I didn't show you all the details. You're gonna have to see them for yourself. Right here at Toulouse Legacy West. See you next time on Build It with Bruce.
Join Build It with Bruce on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for behind-the-scenes clips, contests, and a whole lot more.
Thanks, Bruce. You know, that is going to be one good-looking restaurant when it gets finished, so we'll all be heading to Legacy West.
Every year, families in North Texas unknowingly spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in support of neglect, abuse, and disease. When you buy a puppy from a parking lot or flea market, you could be supporting the cruelty of puppy mills that profit from dogs bred in abusive conditions. Puppy mills thrive on deception. They hide the harsh reality, so a cute puppy is all you see. Help us stop the cycle. To learn how, go to spca.org/no puppy mills. and take the puppy pledge.
Restless leg syndrome runs in families. Help end restless leg syndrome for future generations by becoming a member of the RLS Foundation. More strength, more knowledge, more hope for a cure. Visit rls.org.
So whether you're an empty nester or building your first home, here are some great tips with Bruce Russo of Russo Designs on where to start.
If you're thinking about building a home, there are some things that need to be strongly considered. If you're empty nester, if it's a retirement home, or if it's your first house that you're building for your family, the most critical thing to think about is functionality. How does that design fit your lifestyle? You have to put your excitement of building and designing a home to the side, listen to your design professional, and hear what they're saying and absorb those thoughts and stay focused on the design. It is much easier to erase lines on paper or a computer screen than it is to be moving walls and masonry in the field. That's it for today. 60 Seconds with Bruce on helping you designing your new home.
The term facial rejuvenation, I think, refers to a whole spectrum of procedures and services and options that we can present to our patients when they want to refresh their face, refresh their appearance.
Well, and that's what I like about us, is that we're a team. And so if there's something that I feel like I can't fix, that, you know, he's going to be better, you know, at doing the surgery, and I'll be like, you know, I'll come do that with him. You know, you can have a facelift and you're going to look better. I'm not going to do filler on someone who has, you know, jowling down here and they're like, can you put filler here? No.
Welcome back to Built to Suit with Designing Texas. I'm Jennifer Terrell. Today we're with Ron Davis of Ron Davis Custom Homes, and we're going to be talking about the importance of foundation. Ron, why don't you tell us about this amazing process going on and what it's all about?
Well, thank you, Jennifer. This is a terra firma foundation. As you can see, a lot of things happening here, and the foundation is where it all starts. And today we've had our engineering company out here as well as our concrete, and previously we spoke to Jim Fontaine of terra firma.
Yeah, so terra firma basically is Latin. It means strong foundation, which is exactly what we want to have, is strong house, strong castle. And so this homeowner, when he researched his home, he said this is the last home he wants to build, wanted to make sure his foundation was going to last the entire time he had the home. And so we lift that home off the ground with our system, and thereby assuring that if that soil moves around, it's not going to cause foundation problems.
I know that's what Steve and Laurie were looking for.
Is in a lot of things, foundation is probably the most critical piece of a home. And in doing that, we wanted one that we weren't going to have any problems with over the life of as long as we live in it anyway. And that terra firma foundation is an excellent choice if you want to look at a permanent foundation that isn't going to be affected by the swelling grounds that we have here in the clays that are in the soils here.
Yeah, we look at the design, there's like 30 feet of glass. The whole back of the house has retractable glass walls. In those cases, you'd like to not have even a half inch of movement. So I think this system will work very well for that kind of design and give the homeowner a lot of assurance that those doors are going to be able to open and close for many, many years.
You don't want to cut corners on the foundation, anything like that. This is just, like you said, this is the strength, this is your home right here.
Yeah. It truly is the foundation of your home.
And overseeing this entire process with Ron Davis Custom Homes is Childress Engineering.
Our role as the engineer of record for Ron Davis Custom Homes is that we're your eyes and ears in the world of engineering. You know, we get your geotech reports, we analyze your foundation design, and we tell you what is the most optimal, efficient foundation system for the conditions that you have. And you've been a stalwart partner in working with Childress Engineering, and the fact that you work with a concrete contractor that demonstrates the integrity and the quality control that the terra firma foundation system requires says admirable things about your company.
It's always nice when you have an engineering firm where questions come up that I can't even answer sometimes.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Ron. And we're here for you. We are, like I said, your eyes and ears, and we're just to make sure the project goes successfully and all of the elements that make this unique foundation system come together, that everything's in place to make both the builder and the homeowner have a more rewarding experience.
But it really has happened here so far. We couldn't have a better relationship than we have with you.
And we feel the same way about Ron Davis Custom Homes.
Well, thank you, man.
Thank you.
And this foundation couldn't have happened without Jason Frazier of FrazierCon.
I feel like this is the best of both worlds. You've got a hard foundation that doesn't creak.
Yep.
You know,
I'm with you.
You're not going to deal with any moisture issues, and you lift it up higher than the soil, so it's
off the ground.
It's like an elevated slab, like we would do on void boxes, but without the voids,
sure.
Without the weather problems in installing voids, and also you get the you know, just the beauty of something that's not going to move. You won't see cracks in your walls and in your sheetrock. You won't see the bricks moving, and over time, you and I, we love that. It's something special, you know, and over time, I believe it will be more like the norm. So
yes.
I think we're out in front of the technology is sort of cutting edge at this point, but I
good
think
to be on a cutting edge.
Eventually, people are going to look at it and go, "Oh, how obvious! We should have been doing this from the beginning." Yeah. You know, the other thing that we love about this, from a concrete person's perspective, is that we're not coming back for callbacks. These things aren't moving; they're not cracking.
We feel the same way.
You know, you're not having these upset homeowners when they see variation and settlement and lifting up off of piers and things that are traditional around here because of the volatility of the soil. We have happier customers. We have happier homeowners.
FrazierCon, Ron Davis Custom Homes.
Love it.
What a team.
Ron, this is so exciting to be out here and get to see the process and the importance and the benefit of having a strong foundation. Tell me a little bit about why you feel it's so important to have a foundation like this.
The foundation design is where your home is going to be for years, maybe your last home. And people want to avoid problems. The soils in Dallas are very expansive, they move. And with Telefirma foundations here, we have elevated the foundation, it minimizes cracks, callbacks, and gives you peace of mind for years to come. Especially with modern designs, we have a lot of glass and a lot of pocket sliding doors where people want to open them and we don't want any issues, things like that. So we do go that extra mile, that extra step. It costs a little bit more, but it's well worth it.
So what's next?
Well, what next? We're going to be framing the home, sticks in the air, that starts tomorrow. Oh, and the next thing is mail shower. Our model in the corner of mail shower and Preston Road, we'll be doing a smoke test to test the energy efficiency of our homes.
We'll be outside, so get ready to be muddy. Because what we do is we fill up this whole house with smoke. It's going to take 20 to 30 minutes. And then I'm going to turn on the fan and shut these doors behind me. Sound good?
Smoke test. I've never done a smoke test, so I look forward to seeing that on the next episode of Built to Suit.
It is going to be exciting. Can't wait.
We look forward to seeing you back.
Let's raise a glass to the raising of the foundation.
Here, here.
Telefirma Foundation.
Thanks, Jennifer. And thank you for tuning in. As always, we are thrilled to have the pleasure of your company. And remember, join us next month on March 18th for Designing Texas at 11:30 right here on Channel 8. We'll see you then.